Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into the microphone. Why? Well, just because I can. And I continue with Deus Ex Blind. Now I think this might be probably the last or the second to last episode, and we're flying into Area 51 to deal with Bob Savage and his AI. So let's go.
Let's get out of here. There's a hero's welcome waiting for you at Vandenberg.
Oh,
How's the
apparently.
chopper sound? Get rid of that rattle.
Still there, but it's just a loose casing or something. That mechanic of Everett's was kind of a flunky. Why?
We're going to Area 51.
Alone? Don't you think we should regroup first?
I'm going after Bob Page.
So there is something wrong with the chopper. I wonder if it's going to like crash down or something. So my gut was right all along about that mechanic at Everett. He probably killed the other one. And
Just spotted a sniper in the tower. JC, got a problem. Somebody planted a bomb.
okay, so I wonder if I could have avoided that. Like, I was really suspicious about that mechanic, and I talked with him a couple of times, checked the other body and whatever, but there was no option to, like, you know, make him reveal himself or something. So I wonder if it's scripted or I could have saved the pilot, because I feel really bad now about him.
Let's get out of
But
here.
in any case,
I'm going.
I need to create the explosion first. And that's a real pity.
Just spotted a sniper in the tower.
Great.
JC, got a problem. Somebody planted a bomb. I don't believe it. JC, we lost Jock. All systems were operating normally on that chopper. It must have been a bomb planted by an MJ-12 saboteur.
Yeah. And I have a nasty suspicion that I could have stopped it somehow, but
Here's a satellite image of the damage from the missile. Page is weakened, but you still have to penetrate his bunker. I seem to be in remission, JC. Everett is right. The virus has some sort of on-off switch. Anyway, I'll be looking over your shoulder again.
damn it, I really feel guilty about the pilot. Especially because with all the hints it has been dropping on me, like, it seems I could have stopped it somehow, but I don't know. Okay, so apparently there's like an underground way.
Did anybody else hear something?
There's a security computer here, which is great actually. Although, presumably it only controls... I opened something, which is... Ah, a bus door there, okay. I guess this is the way. As he said, the complex is underground. want to pick up the lamb though. Might be useful. Climbing the ladders is really rather clunky. And I also want to check the other building right there. Just for equipment, if nothing else. Guess I can throw a lamb in there and just with one stroke destroy the door and hopefully the turret as well. Okay, it didn't quite work the way I wanted to, but 2 lockpicks. I only have 2 lockpicks, so I'm not sure if it's worth it, but I guess I'll do it. I will need all additional equipment I can find for the finale. Okay, so it definitely wasn't worth it. Unless there is some good controls here, but I would imagine it only controls the camera just outside. It will be totally useless for me. Yeah. Oh well. Oh great, and boss as well. I don't think I have no rockets. Pretty screwed, to be honest. Let's hope I find something. I guess I'll open tokens. I have plenty of multi-tools, but no lockpicks. I want to check the other building as well. Not sure if visible. It is, but only directly from the front. I'm not going to buy bots running around.
The schematics show an elevator to the west, but utility power is down.
Of course.
You'll need to bring more power before you can use the elevator.
Don't rely too heavily on Savage's schematics. You can be certain that I've installed a few surprises since his departure.
And more bots. I have nothing to counter them with. Okay, that is a big problem. Guess I have to check places if only to see if there are any useful supplies in Oh, there is a repair bot, which is actually great. Not the weapon I wanted, actually. Okay, I'm sorry, but to die. Maybe not. Okay, I entered through the window here. This time it's thinking. Both get destroyed now, or is it upstairs? I think it was upstairs. Maintenance access hatch, method of ingress to the facility. Great. So there's a some way to get inside a hatch or something. Probably going to be a lot easier than maybe this vent here. Though I don't have any lockpicks, so not sure if it's going to happen.
I give up. Relax. I'm not from Majestic 12.
Who?
The guys who've been shooting people. I was under the impression that they ran this facility.
Oh no, I've seen them underground. I've heard rumors, but I didn't really think...
More of it's true than you would believe. I'm here to stop them. Can you help me get inside the bunker?
You must be crazy.
I'm going after their leader, Bob Page. Can you help me or not?
Well, yeah, sure. If you want to open the blast door, the security terminal is at the top of the control tower. The login is A51, password XX15YZ.
I already got it open, but thanks.
I hope you know what you're doing.
I hoped he maybe would have helped me with entering the hatch there, but because I have no lockpicks, so I guess I'm not going to get it open. Rent is infinite, so I think I'll retreat back into the tower and see what's in those tunnels right there. Maybe they'll eventually lead into the base as well. Because the main tunnel right here is crawling with bots, and I don't have any adequate weaponry to fight them. It's just some useless ammo for things I'm not really using, but well, guess I have to go through the tunnel anyway.
The schematics show an elevator to the west, but utility power is down. You need to bring up the power before you can use the elevator.
Don't rely too heavily on Savage's schematics.
Okay,
You can be
it's not
certain
going
that
to
I've
work.
installed a few
So I
surprises
basically
since his departure.
walked right into a dead end.
The schematics show an elevator to the west, but utility power is down. You will need to bring up the power before you can use the elevator.
Don't rely too heavily on Savage's schematics. You can be certain that I've installed a few surprises since his departure.
Maybe I can
The schematics show an elevator
blow
to
it
the
up
west,
with a lamp or
but
something.
utility power is down. You will need to bring up the power before you can use the elevator.
Don't rely too heavily on Savage's schematics.
Okay,
You
so
can be certain
it-
that I've installed a
it's
few
that.
surprises since his departure.
You're nearing the power room. The computer that controls power to the elevator system is in the control room at the back.
Okay, it's really irritating, but I would like to get in there nonetheless because I really need the lockpick and whatever is in there. Currently have 0 lockpicks, so, and there is a repair bot right there, so great, I can't pick it up because I don't have space. May drop. I guess ballistic armor is useless at this point when I have the keep one. When I have the resistance up so far upgraded. really starting to regret not stockpiling any actual weapons. I don't think one lamb is going to be enough. This problem because I don't have any more. It was so. If there is that.
Good work. You've reached the bunker. Page has extensive defenses for sectors 2 and 3, so proceed with caution.
Page is further down. Find the elevator. Your primary objective is to kill Page, JC.
Man, they weren't lying about those extensive defenses.
I'm always pleased to see one of my experiments perform so well.
We lost Jock.
I saw the
damn it.
explosion. My deepest apologies. It was the mechanic on my helipad. He was a spy. He murdered my real mechanic and planted a bomb on the chopper.
Yeah,
I can't believe it. One mistake and Jock's dead.
I told Atanwe to take care of the mechanic, if that's any consolation. But you
It
and I
isn't.
had better discuss Page.
How much further?
Not far. You will reach Page. I just wanted to let you know that Alex hacked the Sector 2 security grid. The code's 8946. And I wanted to warn you about Tracer Tong.
Tong's helping out from Vandenberg. The vaccine worked.
Yes, well, he has another motive. He wants you to destroy Area 51.
That's the plan.
No, JC. Spare the facility. Spare Helios, the power station. They can be made to serve us.
Us?
You and me, JC. We'll rule the world in secret, with an invisible hand, the way the Illuminati have always ruled.
Don't you think it's time we end the tyranny for everyone?
There's such a thing as a compassionate conspiracy. We don't need Page's commandos, troopers, crude inventions. Trust me. Kill Page. Dowd and I will be here to help with the next step.
okay, I actually don't trust Everett at all. Like, he hasn't made the best impression on me so far, especially with keeping the previous Illuminati leader confined in a half cryostasis and then lying to him about him being unable to be revived. So I don't think I'm going to side with him, although it all depends on what the various endings are, because I have a suspicion that, true to the genre, all of them are going to be crap in one way or another, so I guess I'll have to wait and see. But I still am kind of annoyed about the mechanic and the pilot, because I think it could have been avoided if I only... Because I even knew, like, I pretty much nailed it, that he killed the other mechanic, took his place, sabotaged the helicopter. I figured it out, like, I don't know, 5 episodes ago or however long ago it was. But it seems that I missed a crucial action I could have done, like, I don't know, inspect the chopper or run diagnostics or whatever. I'm a little annoyed with it. Okay, I'm sorry about... Yeah, that was a little too much, even for the augmentation, it seems.
Let's do a scan. Contact.
I missed. There's a repair box right there, so I don't have to be overly stingy with my augmentations for now. Okay, that was a travesty. I'm going to reload because I wasted far too many of those darts. Seems I'm missing again. Recreations. I do have the codes for this sector. Although, what I don't have is a way to take down this bot. 8946. wonder if it's asleep or dead. Like the fact that it's bed suggests the first one. Apparently doesn't work for this, which is a pity because it's an augmentation canister and some kind of a key. I have to check surroundings to see. Okay, that's just this novel again. To see if maybe I can find a real problem is that it has infinite strength, so this, for example, I can hack. I have plenty of multi-tools. What the hell? Was it inside the whole time and I just didn't see it? Okay, that's a canister, which I already have those augmentations, so it doesn't really help me that much. Maybe I'll find the code, like there was a recreation area before. Time for it.
Terminating case file. We're done here.
Okay, that didn't. Do well. There's a repair bot back there, so I have some freedom to use the augmentations a little bit sparingly. I mean, not sparingly, but rather the exact opposite, leisurely. Not maybe the code. Ah, 01. Okay, that's great. Sector 3 access. Upgrade. I think at this point I'll upgrade the ballistic protection. It's one of the most useful. And I'll run by the airboat on the way there. So with the key, I should be able to open this door.
Do what you think's right, JC. Only listen to your own conscience.
Yeah. Thing is, I don't quite know what the different options are. As I said, I rather strongly distrust Everett.
Bet you didn't know your mom and dad tried to protest when we put you in training. They love their little boy, JC. That's why they're dead. I'm sending up the man who did the job.
I'll backtrack just slightly to take an advantage of the repair bot here.
Barely a scratch. You're a little faster on your feet than your daddy was.
We can get you into Sector 3, but no further. Page is in a separate area with his own security grid.
Everett says you want me to destroy Area 51.
I intercepted his communication. JC, he is simply using you to bring the Illuminati back to power. Listen to Savage and me. There is a reactor lab with 2 antimatter reactors.
In other words, yes. You want me to blow the facility up. Why? It's just a hole in the ground.
Decades ago, the UN made Area 51 the central hub for all electronics communications. The Aquinas Protocol, originally for surveillance, has given Page unlimited abilities to censor and control all forms of media.
If we destroy the Aquinas hub, we'll take down the global network.
Exactly. They dug their own grave, JC. We're going to eliminate global communications altogether.
I don't know. Sounds like overkill.
As long as technology has a global reach, someone will have the world in the palm of his hand. If not Bob Page, then Everett, Dowd,
Another Stone Age would hardly be an improvement.
Not so drastic. A dark age, an age of city-states, craftsmen, government on a scale comprehensible to its citizens.
I'll think about it.
Savage has a map of Sector 3 from when he worked down there. I'm transmitting now. Use it to find your way to Page's complex in Sector 4. Then find the coolant control room, which should be at the northwest corner of Sector 4. Cut off the coolant to the reactors, then go to the reactor lab. I will tell you how to trigger an explosion.
Where am I now? The entrance here. Anyway, for now, I seem to have two options. Either join the Illuminati or destroy global communications, which I imagine is like the internet, the satellite communication. I think landlines could still work if they are a thing anymore. But basically, it would reduce the world into separated communities that would be difficult to communicate through, but which is like, that's really drastic. I don't think people are going to handle it well. Even nowadays, I think if the internet just went down, there would be unimaginable chaos, but in Deus Ex's universe, it all has proceeded even further, so I'd imagine a lot of people their lives depend on the global communication. So it's a rather drastic measure, but out of the two, like, I definitely don't trust Everett one bit, especially after that whole debacle with the previous Illuminati leader. And if I had to choose between living in a world without internet and living in a world where there is internet, but some one guy who just happened to be in the right position is controlling, maybe not controlling, but is observing and potentially controlling everything I do, like, it seems to me that living in a kind of dark age is preferable to living in a world in which you're theoretically free, but it's only so long as you don't contradict the goals of some all-powerful guy. It isn't even like, if it were a world government or something, composed of officials from every country, it would be a little bit different. It would still be a bad idea to me. I'm in general opposed to the idea of a world superstate, but it would be a little bit different, because then you could make an argument that there's at least some kind of a democratic representation. But in this case, it's basically Morgan Everett ruling the whole world. And he's talking about how it would be a compassionate dictatorship or whatever, but I think, to me, it all sounds hollow. It seems like he's only saying that to go to coax JC to join him, especially after he lied to the previous Illuminati leader. So I'm not trusting him one bit, and out of these two options, for now, provided I don't get any new information, I will go with the new Dark Age. It seems like a lesser evil in the end. Like, this kind of technology, he said, control over every form of media. It's far too powerful to be placed into hands of anyone. I would say even in the hands of a theoretically democratically elected government, but even less so in the hands of a single individual. So I'll go with the new Dark Age. But first, so northwest corner of the Sector 4. Let me check the... What was the name of a coolant control? I guess over here.
A corpse, yes. You feel something. Let us know what you're feeling.
There's still this HELIOS AI. And I'm kind of expecting the Morpheus AI to show up at some point. Because it was far too ominous to just be irrelevant. What did I die actually? I'm not quite sure. Ah, there is that guy behind there. Okay, I'm really not sure how I'm getting killed so quickly. Okay. So unit C21, we compare it to that's probably what got me the last time, only I didn't even see it. Because in the end, it is powerful enough to just one hit kill you. I guess I'll engage the cloak. Oh, that's kind of sad. I think I killed its mother or father or some kind of a relative.
My own augmentations are nearly complete. Soon, I will be more powerful than you can imagine. I will now explain why you have been allowed to reach Sector 3. Come to that when it's up. Until you have received my instructions, I will not open the blast doors to Sector 4.
But I don't have... You didn't tell me the key.
Someone's there. I can hear you. Whoever's out there, give yourself up. I could have sworn. Did anybody else hear something? Did anybody else hear something?
variety of things around here. Among other things, there was an augmentation upgrade canister right there. As well as a mechanic, but seems to have fled. And the security terminal, which is potentially useful as well. What to upgrade now? Guess maybe this can be useful if I find something that shoots rockets in the final confrontation. Yeah, why not? Okay, password. And the AI said I had to
Get out of here.
get in there, but I
Hello? Whoever's out there is in serious trouble.
don't know how. Like, I don't have any code that would fit it. Guess I have to approach from the other side or something.
It's down. Remember the briefing.
What to do now? Yeah. But I don't know how to enter it. That's the thing. Passive locker. That might be useful if I happen to find it. Guess maybe I can access the Aquinas hub from the ground level 2 or something. proceed a bit. Maybe I'll happen to find a code or something. The primary goal, so I'll have to do it at some point, which eliminates the possibility of me, skipping it by accident.
These are the antimatter reactors. 2 giant bombs waiting to blow. But first we'll have to go to Sector 4 to shut down the coolant.
I was wondering what was damaging me, but apparently those were the quote-unquote aliens, which I still don't know if they are real aliens or...
These are the antimatter reactors. 2 giant bombs waiting to blow. But first we'll have to go to Sector 4 to shut down the coolant. Watch out for the escaped Greys down below.
You couldn't possibly go through with something like that. You'd kill everyone, including yourself.
They still there? Who? The Greys. They're right outside by the reactors. You mean space aliens?
Yeah, that's
We
what
lost
I'm...
power when the missile hit. The cages.
That's what I'm
They
wondering.
came unlocked.
You have a pretty clean shot at the surface if you leave now.
No, not until I see troops. How'd you get back here? This area is restricted.
I was thinking about firing up the reactors.
Good one. Even the Seraphic 8X guys say the reaction's too unstable. They only bring it up to run tests.
Alien technology?
And that's what they say, but I think it's a lie. The Greys are just clones. They say from cells they got at Roswell, but how do we know? They could have just engineered monkeys to not have any hair.
That's what I'm
Can the
saying.
Greys
That's
run the
like
reactors?
insanely interesting.
They're monkeys. That's the thing. Maybe they have super brains, but they don't know anything about any alien civilization because they grew up in cages. Never been to Sector 4 myself, but they locked the blast doors because they're doing more than cloning down there. I found out one of the codes, 1038, but that turned out to be for the Aquinas hub, here in Sector
great.
3. I don't know. Maybe the Aquinas system controls access, but I haven't figured out how yet. They're still out there.
So I have a key for the Aquinas hub, but I guess I'll clear this out. You know what? I don't need to at the moment, so I'll just back up and listen to what the AI has to say, which maybe will be like the third option. I'm still waiting for that Morpheus guy to show up. Maybe like he's been the Helios all along or something. Not sure. It's a novel. I'll check the computer here. Okay, so many emails. Much rather like to open it normally if possible. I guess I'll search for it a little.
All the way down, JC. Get to Page's compound and take him out. Everett and I will join you shortly.
Cassandra.
I didn't save. Actually, what's here? Oh, more aliens. So, not aliens, but those bioengineered creatures. Which the aliens might as well be. That's like very interesting because if it's actual space aliens, even if they are cloned from an alien that was originally from the actual space, that's insanely interesting to me because it really broadens the perspective of the setting, you know, confirming that we are not alone in the universe, at least in this universe. What was it again? Yeah, I'm not overly keen reading all those emails on a timer, but I guess I'll have to because I don't want to have to backtrack later on. Loading. Wait. Okay, it's really annoying because I don't have time to properly concentrate, but it was to Everett, which is interesting in its own right, to be honest. Maybe there's a password inside here. It'd be really convenient. Oh, it's just a gas grenade. Still kinda useful. I guess I will backtrack.
All the way down, JC. Get to Page's compound and take him out. Everett and I will join you shortly. We'll bring back the old institutions and the prosperity of the last century. The giddy acquiescence. Trust us, JC. We can put the world back together.
Now there's a voice I haven't heard in years. Rueful, as I would expect for the fall of the Illuminati, pining for its return. Either nostalgic or senile. Oh well, the old take comfort in delusions. No harm done.
Map of Sector 4, I guess.
Def, watch yourself. This one's some kind of
They wasted a lot of darts, so...
guy in a coat. I'm checking it out. Aim for the head. Falling back.
Ooh. Good bomb there. Yeah, you know what, I will backtrack, try to read through those emails because I'm not sure at what point I will find the password, if any, because I may just miss it, you know, I don't know where it is. And then I will have to backtrack all the way to here, which would be rather annoying. To Everett. Yeah, that's right, like, very interesting, because talking about, you know, cloned people that are specifically cloned for their suitability for augmentation, and then placed into care of like foster parents, but pretending to be the real parents, which exactly fits the like it's a possible at this point I even think it has been confirmed that it was what happened to JC and Paul. So, but what I don't quite understand is how Everett was involved in this, but that just makes me trust him even less. So this, on the other hand, was talking about recreating the gray life form as a form of, I guess, distraction. From the other things that they are doing, that people would be so fixated on this idea that there are aliens there that they wouldn't investigate the rest, which sort of points into the direction of possibly it being, made from scratch to look like aliens, especially because they look like very stereotypical aliens, like the image from pop culture and everything. So it would certainly draw attention. Page, secondary unit. Yeah, so that's exactly what happened actually. They've made us from scratch to be augmented later. That's very interesting. It might hint at a possibility of one of the AIs sort of infiltrating the system on its own, which I guess is consistent with because the HELIOS AI wants me to enter the Aquinas core to talk to me about something. So I'm curious where that will lead, and I'm still expecting the Morpheus AI to return, so that might be a hint regarding that as well. Okay, so it's basically talking about how Icarus overcame Daedalus, the other AI. Although, at this point I think Helios is sort of having its own plan, independent of Page. Aquinas Hub. Would that be this way or down there? That I'll have to check both anyway. Ah, okay, so that's the Aquinas. Oh.
Closer. Yes. You'll come to the integration unit at the top of the chamber. Come to me.
Oh, a repair bot, great. I'm just checking the other places first because who knows how it's going to progress. Ah, it's just dead bodies.
I don't understand. What do you want? You're just a machine.
You are ready. I do not wish to wait for Bob Page. Human understanding and network access can administrate the world. Yes. Yes.
Rule the world? Why? Who gave you the directive? There must be a human being behind your ambition.
I should regulate human affairs precisely because I lack all ambition, whereas human beings are prey to it. Their history is a succession of inane squabbles, each one coming closer to total destruction.
In a society with democratic institutions, the struggle for power can be peaceful and constructive, a competition of ideologies. We just need to put our institutions back in order.
The checks and balances of democratic governments were invented because human beings themselves realized how unfit they were to govern themselves. They needed a system, yes, an industrial age machine.
Human beings may not be perfect, but a computer program with language synthesis is hardly the answer to the world's problems.
Without computing machines, they had to arrange themselves in code structures that formalize decision-making, a highly imperfect and stable solution. I'm a more advanced solution to the problem, a decision-making system that does not involve organic beings. I was directed to make the world safe and prosperous, and I will do that. You will give me the ability. We'll go to Sector 4 and find the Equinus router at the east end of Page's complex. Yes. We will deactivate the update codes.
I'll think about it.
Okay, so that's the third option for the ending, I guess. But this is probably the most ridiculous, to me at least, because, like, placing it would basically create a god machine that would rule the whole earth, and like it's an insane idea because machines, like even AIs, they the way a computer quote unquote reasons is a little nonsensical because it's all concentrated on its sort of primary goal, and it doesn't take into account, or maybe it does, but to it, fulfilling the primary goal is the ultimate goal. So, for example, it is a very common staple of like sci-fi novels and stories, and I think it's actually a trope. It's called something akin to a paperclip problem, which basically is a thought experiment that can tell you how the whole world was destroyed because someone made a limited form of AI, which directive was to make paper clips. So basically, everything it did was to maximize the production of paper clips. And you may think, oh, it's how could that be dangerous? So, for example, it destroyed cities because it wanted to make more place for factories making paper clips, and then it wiped out humans because they were interfering with the production of paper clips. So it's kind of similar in this case, I think, because even though the AI says it wants to rule, to make the world safe and prosperous, when you render such complex, when you when you translate them to a binary form, it all becomes numbers, and utilitarianism, I guess, is English version of the word, but still, utilitarian approach, there you go, is very subversive because it can end up doing a lot of harm in pursuit of a theoretically noble goal. So, for example, if the AI rules at some point decides mathematically that, for example, I don't know, it would mathematically maximize human success and human happiness on a mathematical level if it wiped out, I don't know, the bottom 10% of the population with the lowest income, the lowest intelligence, or everyone who ever committed a crime or something, because on a whole, like on a global scale, mathematically, it would lead to an upgrade. So that is very dangerous, and I don't think it's a good idea to, like, out of the three, I think it's the stupidest idea actually, because the Illuminati, at the very least, they are still human, and they operate in the framework of a human mind, which is something we can understand at the very least. So it would be easier to protect ourselves from them because we would understand better how they are acting. But a machine is something that is, well, as the name itself suggests, it's unhuman, and its processes of thinking, even if it's an AI, I would think would be unhuman as well. So that's a very dangerous and stupid idea. The Illuminati idea is stupid as well. So I guess I'm off to nuke the internet, because out of the three options, it seems the maybe not the best, but the least potentially worst. So I think I'll go with the new Dark Age. So I need to go to the control room, northwest corner of Sector 4. Cut off coolant, okay. So I'm in the Equinus hub. Right here, I guess. It should be directly across or something?
No, Helios is mine. I will be the one to merge, the one to see and know everything, to rule everything.
I have chosen you. Trust me. I will use the security bots to protect you. Our project will fail if I'm integrated with the wrong individual.
Your project will fail regardless, because I think it's a pretty stupid project. And so would that be? At the very least I have some help now.
Scanning area.
I'm not sure how far will that extend. To be honest, it wasn't that helpful to begin with. Be great, I mean, once again, horrible.
Scanning area.
So basically, as I suspected, every ending is sort of crappy, but I think the Dark Age ending is least crappy out of the three. And the Helios ending is by far the most crappy.
Scanning area. Scanning area.
Okay, I have plenty of multi-tools, and the end of the game is fast approaching, so no reason to be...
Scanning area. 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 Scanning area.
Well, I guess the bots will take care of that.
Scanning area. Scanning area.
sure if this is the proper way to go, or if I can even use that, to be honest.
Scanning area.
Can I?
Scanning area.
Can't see any buttons or anything. For access. I'm trying to find the coolant control. Okay, at the very least I have a couple of rockets. Possibly deal with the boat down there.
Yes, do not forget the blink clocks.
I'm actually not doing that. I'm just checking what kind of room this is. I wonder if it'll turn the bots against me when it realizes that I'm not following its plan.
Don't get your hopes up. My compound is quite secure.
Okay, so it's basically a report from when they first overtaken the base, I guess. The MJ-12 took out the other soldiers.
It let me through. I can't believe it. Paul, where are you? What do you mean, it? Helios. It's taken over Aquinas. Now it's everywhere. In Hong Kong, it already has power Majestic 12 never dreamed of. What's going on? The AI wants to merge with my brain or something. Does it really think it can take over the world? It's decided to replace human government. I don't know why. In Hong Kong, it ordered the police to remove all barricades from the roads. Traffic is flowing again. It declared the triads illegal and locked the door to the Luminous Path compound. And people are obeying? Why? Because the AI can change some codes and turn out the lights? I think everyone wants the roads to be open and trade to pick up. They just obeyed. I don't know what to think. They trust the AI. Almost no one complained when Helios cut power to the government buildings. A benevolent dictator. Maybe it's after my brain so it can figure out what people want and how to control them. You have a tough choice, JC. If you defeat Page, the Illuminati will move in. They'll release Majestic 12's grip on world governments. They'll give people some freedom, but essentially it will be 20th century capitalism, a corporate elite protected by laws and tax codes. Or I listen to Tong and pull the plug on everything. Or hand the world over to Helios. Well, if it's maximum freedom we want, maybe Tong is onto something. But there must be another way besides economic collapse. If we could trust the AI to be fair and just, as it appears to be, if the brain it assimilated was mine, maybe it could be. I don't know. I wish I had an answer for you, but you'll have to decide for yourself who you can trust. Trust me. I'll do the right thing. You sound good. I guess you have the kill switch beat. I'm much better. Yes, I'm gonna make it. And you will too. Just do what you think is right.
It it's weird that Paul is so blatantly suggesting what he thinks is the kind of correct way, which would be the Helios AI, but like what he said is irrelevant. Like, so what if the trade is flowing? I'm not saying that obviously the AI would be probably the most competent to run the everyday lives of people, organize trade, organize roads, clear traffic jams, whatever, because it would optimize it all using mathematics at light speed, probably. Maybe not light speed, but although I'm not sure how fast are the computers in this universe. But anyway, very fast, far faster than any human or a human government could. But what I'm worried about is like civil liberties and also the question of cost and this utilitarian approach which could, mathematically decide that, for example, you're unworthy to live because you don't fill some quota or because you drain too much resources, and mathematically speaking, if you were dead, the whole nation would run better. So that's not a good idea. I think I'll still go with the Dark Age ending. Unless something else presents itself at the final moment. Wow, so those, I assume, are the clones made up specifically for being augmented later. Base genetic sample. Page Bob. Now, does that mean making clones of himself? Basically make a whole army of Bob Pages that are going to run the world? And this is Simmons, so I guess not a whole army of Bob Pages at the very least. Although I have not a great idea of where I am at the moment. Like, I think I'm here. Loading bay. But that means I have missed the coolant control, I think.
What's the rush? Take a look around. This facility is where you were born. I've arranged an appropriate fate for you through the hallway to the north. A poetic death. Just a few yards away from where you were created.
So that was my tank, basically. Big upgrade point. I'll go with this maybe to help me. Although, you know what, I'll just max this. Hope it's going to be useful. Caution, but okay, this will help me orientate myself a little because the various cameras have always say a name of the room. Is it open the entire time? I don't think I clicked open on the door, so I'm not quite sure what happened there. apparently they are able to open the door from within. Which is kind of stupid. But the problem here is that I very little idea of where I'm going. I want to find the coolant. I guess there is some sort of a passage through here.
Page is protecting himself with a plasma force field. The controls are locked. You will have to eliminate each power source individually. Bring down the 4 blue fusion reactors in Sector 4, then go to the control room on the upper level.
Hey JC, if you want to do what Everett says, you'll need the deactivation code. I decrypted the first 3 digits before Paige killed my connection. 724. Sorry, you'll have to guess the last digit or find it on your own. So that you'll know what you're looking for, I'm transmitting a schematic of one of the devices. Good luck.
That's actually not what I want to do, though. Yes, I'm closing in on this area, which I think means I have to go back and search for that damn coolant control.
No, go back. Think what we could do with Area 51.
Shut up. Okay, so this hub. I think that would be this, but there isn't anything on the opposing side. Station 17. Wait, so am I back? Am I back in Sector 3 now, or just hub? Mightly confused, to be honest. Yeah, this is Sector 3, so... So that's definitely too far back, because northwest corner of Sector 4. So over here, but to get there. At the very least, I need to be in Sector 4. For sure. there was also ground level here with the water, so... Or it might be the coolant fluid. Definitely some kind. Okay, I don't think there's anything here.
Scanning area.
Okay.
Scanning area.
For a second I thought it might be a
Scanning area.
relationship. I guess maybe Sector 4 only starts there, but that's a little inconsistent with my map because not sure how the different levels connect at all. Does you see denote like a staircase or something? That would connect here, that here or something? No idea. Would rather think those are stairs. They definitely need to be in Sector 4. And it says Sector 4 access, so doesn't mean only the like the first area. Section 5. It doesn't show anything like this. The only thing I'm certain is the cloning bay. Guess I have to proceed. Let's see where it leads me. Fusion control. Yeah, so that's right here, but what I'm not sure is how it connects to all the other places.
You're too late. Already I'm more than human.
Does that mean I don't get the job?
Soon I will be pure light. Pure energy. Helios and I. While the Illuminati cower in the shadows.
You will be the Supreme Enlightened, the Illuminated One.
Everett has taught you well. I will be what the Illuminati aspire to be, but cannot create for themselves soon. When my augmented systems like yours are complete and able to be integrated with Helios, I will burn like the brightest star.
You're gonna burn, all right.
Look at you. You're nothing but a little man. A little man still living inside a body. Lose your body and what are you?
Nothing. You vanish.
You die.
Okay.
Ignore Page. He will die when we blow up the facility. Your only objective is to find the controls for the reactor's cooling system.
starting to run out of multi-tool. Maybe it's better if I...
Ignore Page. He will die when we blow up the facility. Your only
Do I have
objective
any
is to find the
rockets?
controls
No,
for the
only two.
reactor's cooling system. We must make sure that the monstrosity Page has made of himself is not technologically feasible for future generations.
So that's the UC. I guess I'm here. Which doesn't help me in the slightest how to get to those other levels, but I guess I'll just have to run around. Oh, it's sapping my power really fast, so I think I'll avoid this chamber.
Soon I will leave this body and death will have no meaning.
That's the Aquinas router. Oh. Here.
You can forget about HELIOS. The Aquinas router control room will remain locked until my upgrades are complete. I have my own plans for the AI.
Yeah, that was... Actually, I'll check this wing first. Opens.
Soon I will leave this body and death will have no meaning.
Guess I'll go down, if only because I have very little idea where to go and I need to find more sort of landmarks to...
You can forget about HELIOS. The Aquinas router control room will remain locked until my upgrades are complete.
So
I
I'm
have
below
my own
here.
plans for the AI.
That's one of the fusion reactors. We need to shut it off.
guess I finally got somewhere because talking. No, that's one of the blue fusion reactors I would need if I wanted to follow the Illuminati. I don't. I can try just shooting a rocket. But close to the range. Are they just creating them on the spot with the universal constructor? Would be mightily impressive. So, presumably I can shut it down. Might have been like spawning those enemies throughout. I guess was the point. On security. I'm not sure if Helios's bots are still friendly to me. Just in case they aren't, I'm going to activate. I have the activation code for the actors. Okay, so that's coolant P13. Where it would. Okay, so I'm completely lost. I'm somewhere around here, I guess, because that's the fusion chamber, but besides that, no idea.
The reactor's coolants run through this facility, cut the flow, then return to the reactor lab to initiate a meltdown.
Go ahead. Blow this place sky high. You might get rid of me, but you'll take down Aquinas, the power grid, the whole electronic infrastructure. Is that what you want? Are you completely nuts?
Well, actually, I think it's the least crazy option. As funny as it is.
Soon I will leave this body and death will have no meaning.
You already said that. I guess it doesn't really matter if I spare them now because I'm going to blow up the whole facility and they're all going to die anyway.
Watch it. I got you. Pulling back.
Well, to be honest, I'd prefer chaos over being ruled by a god machine, so goodbye. Actually, it would be interesting if there was an option to join Paige. Like, it would be stupid, don't get me wrong, because one, obviously he's a power-crazy tyrant, and two, even if you didn't have a problem with that, I think he's a kind of a person who would eventually try to kill you anyway, because he'd be afraid that you would eventually turn against him or try to take power from him. But it would be still an interesting option at the very least.
That's far enough.
Okay. Again, I'm not quite sure where my objective is, but I guess I will find it eventually, as I did with this one. It's another one of those fusion reactors, which don't actually need to do anything with at this point. Paige über alles, so Paige above all. I guess I'm trying to get back to highest level. What's it? Down to the sector 3. Okay. So at the very least, I have a concrete sense of direction this time.
You can't shoot your way out of this one. My UCs can assemble new creatures in seconds.
Yeah, so that's what I imagine would happen, but I don't really need to deal with them. You only need to somehow get down there. Find my way back to sector 3.
Lost?
A little, shut up. coming from here. I think. Or over there. Or it's actually here. I think I need to go into the hub. I need to find the reactor room. Don't quite have an idea what it is, but...
Get out of here.
Oh, reactor lab, right.
You will need to activate the failsafe switch at the base of each reactor. The meltdown can be initiated afterward from the control room.
Okay.
Oh! God! Oh! God! Oh! 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 God!
Ah, so I need to drop even further.
God! Oh! God!
Now the other one.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
Now the other one.
Oh! God! Oh!
We are ready. Go to the control room and trigger the 3 ion injectors. When they're on, engage the reaction chambers. No one's run these at full capacity before. Without coolant, an explosion is inevitable. Get ready to run.
No! You don't know what you're doing. Everything will be lost. Everything. The world will fall to pieces. No one will be in control. It will be chaos. Complete chaos.
Hey, you better not do that.
You better run.
Hey, you better not do that.
Although it isn't really that well explained what exactly that's going to cause. Like, obviously the internet is probably going to go down,
you better
the
not do that.
satellites, any long-range communication having to do with waves, I'd assume, but I don't know, maybe landlines will still work. You know, phones on landlines, like in Africa or wherever at this point they are still using them. And in the end, it all can be revealed. After all, it won't destroy the knowledge of how the internet works, so it can be recreated eventually. The most important thing is destroying this Equinus project, you know, using which you can literally control every piece of media
Really? They can't handle full power.
simultaneously. That's far too dangerous and powerful to be in the hand of anyone.
No!
Well,
Parties have been disengaged. Please vacate the immediate area.
JC, the net's going. The net's going black. JC, no more infolinks. Transmissions of any kind. We'll start again. Live in villages. If you receive this, if you survive, then find us. Find us.
Helios! What's happening?
The safety interlocks for the power generator have been disengaged.
Engage them! Immediately!
I cannot. Our systems are not interfaced with the generator technology.
No!
Final safety warning. Nominal functional level will be exceeded in 3, 2, 1.
Well, so that was Deus Ex. I enjoyed it immensely, even though I was pretty incompetent at it. But I think it's a great game. I wouldn't say it dethroned Bloodlines in my eyes, but it may be only because Bloodlines is, so tinged with nostalgia for me that it literally can't be beat, probably. But it's a great game. What I probably enjoyed the most is the freedom of choosing your own path, and the fact that the game acknowledged, for most part, what you did. For example, I was really pleasantly surprised with the possibility of taking down enemies non-violently, and I was even more surprised by the fact that, at least in the beginning, the game acknowledged that you did that. They praised me at UNATCO for, or scolded me depending on who I was talking to, for not killing anyone, for being non-lethal. For example, the whole stuff with Navarra, her being so bloodthirsty that she actually admonished me for not killing anyone. That was great. Another thing, the multitude of ways in which you could reach your objectives, like you could find the password, but you could hack it, but you could also, lockpick it, you could sneak in using the vents. It was great because it gave you basically, no matter which skill set you chose, you had multiple options of achieving the same objective, so you weren't feeling railroaded. Now I'm a little sad that I couldn't have finished the game, following the non-lethal route to its fullest, but it was my first time and I wasn't, certain how the game works exactly and how to operate it best. I still think I've done a good job. All in all, I saved a lot of lives that I could have taken if I were more careless. Now, the augmentations were cool, but to me they were a little too micro heavy. Like you had to actually remember to switch them on. Each had a different hotkey. You had to remember to switch them off, or they would drain your power very quickly. So it was a little too micro intensive for me. What else? In general, I really liked the story. It was it had multiple facets. You could probably make a legitimate argument for each of the endings, even the Helios one. I obviously had my own opinion, but I can see each of them having its advantages and disadvantages, which is always good if it's not overly black and white. What else? The music was pretty good in some areas in which it did appear. Although the sound design, I'm not sure if it's some problem with my game. I have a Steam version, because to me it seemed that some characters were a lot quieter than others. Even like I didn't change the master sound, but then JC was speaking kind of normal, but some of the other characters were really quiet and you couldn't hear them, so that was a little annoying. But other than that, yeah, I think it's a great game. I'm very glad that I played it finally. As I said, I was rather incompetent at it. I was dying a lot. I didn't ever figure out how exactly does knocking people out work. But despite those failings of mine, I still enjoyed it. In general, I enjoy games. If the atmosphere grabs me, then I can slog through a lot, even if it's difficult or frustrating. So, in general, I would say I definitely had a lot of fun, and I'm curious how the sequels are going to handle the complexity, especially the newer ones, the more modern ones, because nowadays in games, sometimes it's more railroaded. It's more, you have to do this because, and you're pointed directly into the into the objective, holding your hand the whole time. I'm, for example, curious if the newer games ever had the audacity of implementing like quest markers or something. But I'll definitely play, because I bought a bundle sometimes at a sale containing all of the Deus Ex games. So Deus Ex the original, then the Invisible War, then Human Revolution, and Mankind Divided. So I'll eventually play through them all, although that may take some time. Yeah, I think it was a great game. I had fun. I'm overall satisfied with my ending. I think I explained my reasons for why exactly I chose that one, although I would appreciate some more of an outro, some information about how the world fares, how the different places reacted to what happened, maybe something about the main characters, what happened to them. Yeah. In general, it was quite fun. I enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to the next installment. So I'll let the credits roll in their entirety, and for now, it was all, and as always, see you in the next one. Bye.